Life gets so busy, right? It feels like we're always rushing, always reacting.
Totally.
And you hardly ever get that moment to, like, stop and really think about what's actually going on inside your own head.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to find that space for reflection.
But what if, like, there was a way to maybe dive a bit deeper into those thoughts, those feelings, but without, the whole pressure of writing it all down perfectly.
Ah, you're talking about audio journaling.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's this really interesting idea, taking that deep dive just by using your voice. It feels, well, very natural, doesn't it?
It really does.
And we're definitely seeing it catch on big time.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of amazing how something so straightforward is hitting home for so many people. I saw that on places like TikTok. The whole audio journaling thing has just exploded. Billions of views.
Yeah, billions.
Yeah. It just shows how much people are drawn to this, I think. The convenience, the accessibility.
Definitely speaks volumes.
And that's exactly what we want to get into today. Explore the real benefits, maybe look at it from different angles, and offer some practical ways you can actually get started.
And actually, if you're thinking this sounds interesting already and maybe you'd like a bit of guidance, there's a really neat option. You can just call 888-576-5669.
Okay.
That's 888-JRNLNLW. It connects you to Chosen. It's an AI-powered voice journaling tool, kind of designed to help you reflect in a smarter way.
AI-powered. Interesting. Okay, we'll definitely circle back to that. But first, let's just, lay the groundwork. The idea is simple talk instead of write. But what is audio journaling, really?
Yeah, at its heart, it's simply recording your thoughts, your reflections, your feelings, using your voice. But what's cool about it is how immediate and natural it feels.
Right.
Your voice carries so much.
Yeah.
Your tone, maybe a little hesitation. It captures the emotion in a way that just, written words sometimes flatten out.
That makes sense. It feels almost older.
Yeah.
Like tapping into how we used to share stories orally, but now the main audience is just yourself.
Exactly. It's like personal oral history in the making. And technology has just made it super, super convenient. Think about it, from old tape recorders
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
to the super smart apps on our phones now. You can literally do it anywhere. Waiting for the bus, on your lunch break, walking.
Whenever a thought pops into your head.
Precisely.
And I like that it seems to remove some of that friction you can get with writing.
Yeah,
Facing the blank page, worrying about spelling or grammar.
totally. That can be a real hurdle. Audio often feels less formal, less like homework,
Yeah.
more like just letting your thoughts flow. Like some people we looked into said, you just grab your phone and talk. Easy.
Okay, so that's the what. It's clear, it's convenient, but let's dig into the why. Why are people actually doing this? What are the, tangible benefits?
Okay, yeah, the why is huge. And a really big one is mental well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Just speaking thoughts out loud can be incredibly powerful for processing stuff. Releasing emotions that might just be swirling around inside.
Like getting it out of your system.
Exactly. It can actually lead to feeling less stressed, less anxious. There's this amazing example, Eileen Catalano's audio diary, All the Way Broken.
Oh, I read about that.
It's this incredibly raw, emotional record of her life dealing with substance abuse. And it won an award. It just shows the sheer power of capturing those unfiltered thoughts and feelings.
Wow. That's, incredibly powerful. Giving voice to things that might otherwise just fester. What else?
Well, tied into that is increased self-awareness. Big time.
How so?
When you actually listen back to yourself speaking.
Which must be weird at first.
Yeah, maybe a little. But you start noticing things, patterns in how you think, your core beliefs maybe, what motivates you. And it's not just what you say, but how you say it, your tone, the pauses.
Right, the hesitations we mentioned.
Yeah, that stuff can reveal subconscious feelings, things you might not even pick up on if you were just reading your own writing. It's like hearing your emotional state laid bare.
That's fascinating. You get a different layer of information.
Definitely. And another angle is just plain accessibility. Right.
For anyone who finds writing difficult, maybe due to a disability or just zero time, audio is just so much more practical. It opens journaling up to more people.
That's a really important point. I hadn't fully considered that accessibility aspect. Makes total sense. What about our brains? Does it do anything for our thinking?
Yeah, there seem to be cognitive perks too. Saying things out loud can actually help organize your thoughts better.
Like talking a problem through.
Exactly. It helps you hear different angles. It might even help with memory, remembering things better, understanding them more deeply. It's like you're using more parts of your brain speaking and listening.
That makes, like, when you explain something to someone else, you understand it better yourself.
It's a similar idea.
Yeah.
And interestingly, because it feels less formal, maybe less permanent than writing,
Mm-hmm.
people might censor themselves less.
Oh.
Yeah, you might just blurt things out, things that are maybe deeper subconscious feelings that your internal editor might have screened out if you were writing.
So it's like bypassing the inner critic a little bit? Could be, yeah. A way to tap into stuff that's just under the surface.
Interesting.
And even just in the moment, if you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, just verbalizing it, saying, I'm feeling really stressed about X, can provide immediate relief.
Like a pressure valve release.
Pretty much, yeah.
So immediate relief, deeper self-awareness.
Mm.
What about looking back over time?
That's where it gets really valuable for growth, I think. Listening back to entries from weeks, months, even years ago, you get this amazing perspective. You see how you've changed, how you handled things, maybe how your thinking evolved. It's fuel for self-reflection.
Like tracking your own journey.
Totally. And it can also be great for creativity. Just riffing out loud can spark new ideas, help connect different thoughts in unexpected ways.
Right. Sometimes hearing yourself say it makes it click.
Absolutely. And just the act of doing it, articulating your thoughts right now in this moment, that fosters mindfulness. It grounds you in the present. Plus, because you're engaging hearing as well as speaking, memories might become more vivid when you recall them later. It's a richer recording, sensorially speaking.
Like creating a more complete personal archive.
Exactly. There was Mina, one of the people whose experiences we looked at. She suggested that saying negative thoughts out loud can actually expose their flaws.
How do you mean?
Like, when you hear yourself say something really negative, you might suddenly realize, hang on, that doesn't actually sound right, or that's not entirely true. It helps you challenge and reframe those thoughts.
That's a cool technique.
Yeah. And Takui Kitazawa found it super helpful for self-reflection, especially working remotely. He missed those casual chats where you process things out loud. Audio journaling filled that gap.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that feeling. Missing that spontaneous verbal processing.
For sure. And then Charvelena shared how she uses it for gratitude, specifically speaking gratitude and ending sessions with self-encouragement. She found it really boosted her self-love.
That's lovely.
Yeah. And just fundamentally, it clears the clutter. It gets those swirling thoughts out of your head and into the recording.
Sounds like a really solid way to organize your inner chaos.
It can be. Some people even use it for confidence, like doing verbal affirmations, maybe even looking in the mirror while they talk.
Oh, interesting. Like mirror work, but audible.
Yeah. And it can actually help your speaking skills, too.
Yeah.
You hear where you stumble, where you repeat yourself, and you naturally start finding better ways to phrase things.
Huh. An unexpected side benefit.
And hey, it saves paper.
Huh. Always a plus. You also touched on inner child work. How does that fit in?
Some people find speaking directly to their inner child in recordings is really powerful, offering reassurance, love, validation. It's a very direct form of communication for healing.
Okay, wow. That's a lot of compelling reasons. So how does this really stack up against, good old-fashioned writing in a journal? What are the key differences we should highlight?
Well, I think the biggest one is that immediacy we talked about. Audio is often more like a direct stream of consciousness.
Right, raw and unfiltered.
Yeah. Whereas writing, you usually have a moment to pause, think, maybe rephrase. It tends to be a more deliberate, maybe more structured process.
So immediate versus deliberate expression.
Exactly. And then there's the whole tech integration side. Audio is digital native, right? Easy recording, playback, cloud storage is usually simple. And then you have tools like Chosen bringing in AI analysis.
Right, that AI guidance you mentioned.
Yeah. Writing has that wonderful tactile feel, pen on paper.
Which some people really value.
Absolutely. Christine Galang, who we looked at, she prefers pen and paper precisely because she's on screens all day. But even she admitted digital is way easier for sharing or publishing, if that's your goal.
So it's horses for courses, really.
Kind of. Though, someone else, John Carlos Santiago, lost his written journal and switched to documenting with phone photos and videos so people adapt and find what works.
It really highlights how personal this is. But audio definitely seems to win on pure convenience and speed, maybe.
I think so. You can do it literally anywhere with just your phone. And that emotional nuance in the voice, that's a big difference compared to just text.
Okay, you've sold me on giving it a try. So for someone listening who is thinking, all right, I'm curious, what are the first steps? How do you actually start?
Honestly, it's super simple. Just press, record,
Okay. Don't overthink it.
Exactly. Don't aim for perfection, just start talking. Maybe try setting aside a specific time, like first thing in the morning or winding down at night. See what feels right for you. Or just do it whenever the mood strikes.
So find your own rhythm with it.
Right. And if just talking freely feels a bit weird or intimidating at first, use prompts.
Ah, good idea.
There are tons online. What surprised me today? What am I grateful for? Little starting points can really help get the words flowing.
That makes sense. Takes the pressure off staring into the void, so to
Yeah.
speak.
And just talk naturally, like you're chatting with a friend who's a really good listener. No need for fancy words. Authenticity is key. And then make time to listen back sometimes. Not necessarily every entry, but reflecting on past recordings is where a lot of the insight comes from. Seeing your growth.
Like having a conversation with your past self.
Exactly. A cool tip someone shared was, think about what your future self might find interesting or helpful to hear about your life right now.
Oh, I like that framing.
Yeah, and try to capture everything, the mundane stuff, the big changes, the good, the bad. Get a balanced picture.
The whole spectrum.
Yep. And seriously, don't make it complicated. If you're out and about, pop in some headphones if you feel self-conscious.
Good tip for privacy.
And remember, listening back is useful, but it's your journal. If listening to certain entries, maybe about tough stuff, isn't helpful, it's okay to delete them. Curate it for your own well-being.
Permission granted to hit delete.
Got it.
Any other prompt examples?
Oh, sure. You could try, what's the most unique thing I experienced today? Or maybe try interviewing yourself, ask yourself a question, and then answer it.
Like being your own podcast host.
Huh. Sort of. Or use it for positive affirmations. Speak your goals as if they're already real. I am confident. I have achieved X. That can be powerful too.
Lots of possibilities.
Yeah.
So we've covered the what, why, how. What are the actual tools besides just a phone?
Well, your phone's built-in voice recorder is perfectly fine to start. There are other apps out there too with different features. But going back to what we mentioned earlier, if you want something more guided and insightful, I really think it's worth checking out Chose by calling 888-576-5669.
That's 888-JRNLNW.
Exactly. 888-JRNL-NO-NOW.
That?
What makes it different and frankly better than just a basic recorder is that it's not just recording.
Okay.
It's accessed via a simple phone call, no app needed, no sign-up hassle. But the core thing is it uses AI and data science.
Right, the AI part. How does that help?
It means Chosen can offer personalized prompts based on what you're talking about. It can provide insights, maybe highlight patterns for you. It offers actual support for your reflection and mental health journey based on, science. It's a smarter way to journal with your voice.
That sounds genuinely innovative. Easy access through a phone call, but with intelligence behind it.
Exactly. It lowers the barrier to entry, but potentially raises the level of insight you can get.
Very cool. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main thing you hope people take away about audio journaling?
I think it's that audio journaling is just this incredibly accessible, surprisingly powerful tool for reflection, for stress relief, for just getting to know yourself better.
Yeah.
It lets you connect with your thoughts, your feelings in a really natural, direct way. The benefits for your mental health, your self-awareness, even your thinking, they're pretty significant.
It really does sound like a fantastic way to, as you said, unpack your inner world, maybe without some of the blocks that writing can sometimes throw up.
Absolutely. And maybe just think about this. What might change for you if you started regularly giving voice to your inner world? How could that shift your day-to-day perspective or even your long-term growth? It's about listening to yourself, really listening.
That's a great thought to end on, a powerful invitation. And if you're curious about that guided experience, the one rooted in AI and data science we discussed.
If chosen, a try.
Right. Call 888-576-5669 or 888-JRNLW. Thanks so much for taking this deep dive with us today.